around, whose hat is this? And nobody claimed it. And then I looked it up. Apparently, the man who captured Sunshine was this artist whose name I'm blanking on right now, but I'll put an asterisk in the description, and it's gonna say his name. I think it's something Hilton. But the dude does these like really cool landscape paintings of deserts, and they're really, really beautiful. And the dude was a botanist too. So something that I was talking about in the last video, something that I wish more people knew how to do, it was basically like recreate the world that you live in. I'm so grateful that I'm an artist and I'm so passionately in love with music, because music allows me to live in this other world. And, you know, there's no better genre than jazz. But I think that the reason why I've always been so obsessed with music is because, like, I've always seen it as very, very therapeutic. And so one of the main reasons why I stuck it out as long as I have is because I have these things that I cling to that make life worth living, you know? And I think that there's a lot of stuff that makes life worth living, but I think that music really touches on, you know, the pain and suffering of the human condition. And I think that's why, like, a lot of insanely talented musicians are probably mentally ill, because there's just something that we're a lot more aware of. And I think that, you know, with all this stuff going on now, the normies are a lot more aware of that human condition. I definitely think that it's gotten a lot more extreme. Basically, like, our materialistic culture has been stretched out like elastic, and a lot of people just look to that as the solution to all their problems. That's why they're so hooked on the technology and the internet. But it doesn't actually provide them the escapism that they so long for, so it's just making them sicker. Now, I never really could escape through drugs or alcohol or through music or through TV or anything. I just went right back into myself. I went right back into the thing that I found so troublesome about life. But the more that I reflect on that, the more I'm convinced that that's just the way it fucking is, and we just need to figure out how to deal with that rather than keep whining about it. So people that still haven't figured out how to deal with ADHD, I'm sorry, but you're fucking weak, okay? I need to do a video on this. I need to do a video on, like, how to just deal with your problems rather than keep whining about them or expecting them to go away. They're not going to go away until you figure out that you're not a victim because of them. okay? That's what's keeping you in this mentality of woe is me, you know? Thank you for the turn signal. What is that? That's little thelonious. He's making a lot of noise over there. Okay. Hold on. Hold on, little thelo. You like how I nicknamed him Thelo? He's the mini. Hold on 1 second, Vortex. Actually, no, I'm just gonna wait to do that. I really don't need to grab him right now. I'll just wait till I get off of this exit. But yeah, he's complaining because he doesn't have anywhere to go. He's like, fuck you, bitch. If I have to be stuck over here, I'm gonna be really annoying. Hello, State Trooper. Schizophrenia spectrum, and that is ADD, ADHD, whatever you want to call it. A lot of stuff that's on the schizophrenia spectrum is stuff that people say they have now, like autism and dementia, Parkinson's disease, all this shit, bipolar disorder, borderline personality. Now, there's a very narcissistic element to all this stuff. You can take any kind of disability or something that our medical community has trained everybody to think is a disability, and you can just play the victim about it, and that will turn you into a narcissist. We did that for a while. If you want proof of that, you can watch my old YouTube channel, okay? I was also a liberal, so it just made sense. But I don't want to just blame politics for that, because I've met plenty of liberals that don't do that. And I've met conservatives that want to whine about all the stuff the liberals whine about. It's just from another angle. So let's not be that divisive. I'll be divisive, but not divisive in that way, okay? You know, the AI told me that my content is naturally divisive because I'm unmedicated. Come on. There you go. Now you have somewhere to go if you feel like it. But yeah. Most people, if they're like one of the dangerous mentally ill people, they're not gonna say that they're not medicated. Okay, they're not that. What's that word we can't say? They're not that. Okay. That's more of like a social death. You know? Like, if you aren't doing what people expect you to do, that's considered a form of social death. A lot of people don't say that, but that's how they treat you. They really don't understand. But yeah, like, if you just figure out how to deal with your mental stuff without the help of medicine, then, I mean, you really have such a leg up over so many people. And that's not for the purpose of kicking anybody, okay? They're gonna act like that because they're weak. They can't take criticism. And they interpret it as criticism even if you're not actually pointing the finger at them and calling them weak. You know? I would never do that. I have a lot of friends that take medication, and, you know, I don't tell them that they're fucking weak. I don't tell them that. I mean, they know that I disagree with it, though, and they know why. But, it's like, I understand that everybody has to make the decision that's right for them. But when the whole industry is coercing you to make bad decisions and they're not actually being, what's the word? There's no such thing as informed consent, okay? When they're not giving you the right information, how is it consensual? So basically, what psychiatrists are doing, it's like if somebody that you have sex with either has an STD that they don't tell you about, or they're trans. I would say that is a pretty good metaphor to describe what psychiatrists are doing to the public. So people just have no idea what they're getting themselves into. But I can understand, though. Like, when they're constantly being fed this information, like, you're a victim, you're a victim, you're a victim. Take these pills and it'll help you. Take these pills and it'll alleviate these symptoms. And maybe the pills do alleviate the symptoms for a minute. And I know that people that take Adderall or Ritalin or, what's the other one? Vyvanse. They talk about how, like, they're able to focus and they're able to accomplish all these things. I know so many people that take Adderall that, I mean, I'm sure they do have some kind of ADD or ADHD, but, like, they don't take it to study or anything like that. They take it to, like, just, like, accomplish tasks. But yeah, I get it. I do get it. I'm not saying it's easy. What I'm saying is that you have to, like, figure out your own way of dealing with it. So something that I figured out, and I'm going to put this, there he goes. There he goes. Yay, you went somewhere. Does it feel good? Does it feel good? And you didn't even crash. I'm so proud of you. You're not like mommy. But yeah, so I'm gonna put this on a whiteboard because I think it would help to see this visual. But if you spell ADD, it spells the word add. Okay? So if you're finding it really hard to focus, and yeah, I guess I should do like a YouTube short or maybe a TikTok. Just a shortened ADD version of this video. Can you tell that I've been working on that bike? I like oil all over me.
But yeah, so I figured if I just add tasks to the original task, I'm a lot more likely to accomplish the original task. So rather than sit around and whine because my brain can't focus, I just deal with the fact that my brain can't focus. I don't think I'm a victim because I can't focus. I don't throw a fucking pity party because I can't focus. I just try to figure out a better way to utilize my time. I mean, I actually think it's somewhat of a gift because I'm able to accomplish way more because of this inability to focus. Now, there are things that I'm passionate about. Like if I'm doing research on something that I really care about, then I can focus on that. But stuff that I don't want to do, why would I focus on that? You know? It's like classes that I was forced to take that I had no desire to be in, yeah, I couldn't pay any attention. But you best believe that I made an A+ in my psychology class because it's something I cared about. When I had to take Algebra 2 in summer school for the third fucking time, not in summer school, but it was the third time that I had to take that class, I was way more determined, you know? So when people say that they can't do something, they're telling themselves that because they don't want to, you know? But a lot of the time you just really have to try way harder. And rather than complain about that, you should look at it like it's a blessing, because that effort that you make that maybe other people don't have to make, that's going to make you a stronger person, and it's going to show just how dedicated you are to doing the right thing and taking care of yourself and standing on business, as black people would say. I'm sure it's not just blacks that say that, but I've only heard blacks say that. Anyway. Ooh, my holy water. I was wondering where the fuck it went. But there's just additional effort that you need to make in order to do things. Like, if it's more of a challenge for you, like, that's fine, you know? And maybe there's legitimately something that you can't do. But, you know, that's the whole point of the serenity prayer. Figure out the difference between the things that you can change versus the things that you can't. And the wisdom to know the difference really is the most important thing. You know? Like, I think I've proven enough times in enough ways that I can't drink liquor. And I think I've proven enough times in enough ways that I can't be in a relationship. And I think I've proven enough times in enough ways that social norms just aren't my thing. Okay? But I don't have to be hateful about it. So I think what I'm gonna try to do for future content is I'm going to try to be like very solution focused in regards to psychological problems, and I do believe that that's my calling here in the most medicated country in the world. So if my issue is modern medicine, then I need to come up with solutions that are alternatives to that shit. So yes, add on tasks, and you will be amazed as to how much you can accomplish. If your brain goes all sorts of ways, that's fine. Just find something to do wherever you end up going. You know? I think that's pretty cool.